Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to get into another loops and thread crochet kit. Been putting this one off for a while, taking care of some other stuff. So we're going to make us banana today. And this banana is going to be separate and the peel is going to be made and he'll be slipped into the peel. So we're going to go ahead and get started on this. This kit almost gives you everything you need. You want a stitch marker and some scissors on the side. Other than that, it has everything else inside. So here we have the yellow yarn, the pale yellow yarn, the pink, brown, and green, our tapestry needle and safety eyes that's included with the kit, and a 3.5mm hook. This is included with the kit, but if you don't have the kit, you can use your own. I'm going to get started by pushing this off to the side. I'm going to start with the inner portion of the banana, so we're going to use this pale yellow yarn here. And I'm going to show you guys some of the stitches that we're going to be working with, and then we're going to jump into making the banana. So some of the stitches you should know. This one, the first one's going to be a chain, but we need to make a slip knot first. Lay the tail here in your fingers. Make a loop around your top first finger. Put your thumb and your first finger through, twisting it clockwise, grabbing your working yarn, and pulling it through. That's your slip knot. Once you have your slip knot, slide it onto your hook and pull it down. To make the next one is going to be a chain. For your chain, you're going to have your slip knot, holding your slip knot in place, yarn over your hook, pull with your hook facing towards you, twisting it down, sweeping it through the loop and up. So yarn over with the hook towards you, twisting it down, sweeping down the loop and up. And that's how you make your chain. So now we're going to do a single crochet. We're going to put our hook into the stitch, yarn over, grabbing our yarn, pulling through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. That's a single crochet. So put your hook through the stitch, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Single crochet. To do a double crochet is similar. We're going to yarn over first, put your hook through the stitch, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So again, a double crochet, yarn over, put through, yarn over, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, pull through 2. And that's your double crochet. And then you're going to want to do an increase. So an increase is 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So into 1 stitch, put your hook through, grab your yarn, yarn over, pull through, that's 1 single crochet. Put your hook through, grab your yarn, yarn over, 2 single crochets. That's an increase. Again, so an increase is 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So put your hook through, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through, 1 more, put your hook through, grab your yarn over, pull through. And that's your increase stitches. To do a decrease, you're going to put your hook through 1 stitch, grab your yarn and pull up like this. And then you're going to go into the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull up. Now you have 3 loops. Yarn over, pull through all 3. That groups 2 stitches together. I'll show you again. So go into the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull through, into the next stitch, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. The only other thing that you're going to need to know is a magic ring. I'm going to show you guys that real quick and then we're going to go ahead and get started. Alright, so the magic ring seems to be the most tricky. I do have another video of a YouTube short on my channel about the magic ring, explaining it more slowly and more detailed. So to make our magic ring, this is my left hand, this is the hand that I use to hold my yarn. So I'm going to lay my tail over my first and second finger, holding my tail in place with my thumb. Wrap the yarn over the top side of your finger, under the bottom side, back over the top. When we come back over the top, you're making an X. I use my pinky to hold my yarn in place. You can use each finger. So I use my pinky here, just like this. So now that we have this X, you're going to go under the first one, over the second one. So under that first strand, over the second strand, grabbing with your hook the second strand. Pull this down, releasing the tension on your pinky so that the yarn can slide through your hand. When you have it pulled down, you're going to twist the hook towards you clockwise, creating this loop. So you pull it down like this, twist it down and up clockwise. With your hook facing up, go towards the yarn being held by your pinky, yarn over. When you have it, rotate your hook around, keeping that yarn secure on the hook. Pull your hook down and up through that loop. Once you have it there, you take out your fingers. This is what it looks like. You can leave this twisted in or you can pull it out, and this is your magic ring. We're going to go ahead and continue on, but if you want to rewatch that, the settings in the video playback speed, you can slow it down, or you can check out the YouTube short on my channel. But this is your magic ring. So for round one of the banana, and I'm going to insert a screenshot of the written instructions in just a minute here. But for round one, it's going to be with the cream colored yarn, make a magic ring, and put 6 single crochets into the ring. So with here, you're going to put your hook in the ring, grab your yarn, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 1, into the ring, grab your yarn, pull up, 2. So when I have enough stitches to grip onto, once I put my hook through and I grab my yarn, when I pull up before yarning over and pulling through, I grab my 2 stitches with my first and second finger to hold it steady to keep my stitches the same size. Making sure that your tension is always the same, not too tight or not too loose, or your stitches are going to be more than one size and it won't look uniform. So that's 3, 4, 5, and 6. So we're going to pull it tight, closing the ring. This creates our circle piece. So here in the instructions, they give you the option to do continuous rounds where you don't do a slip stitch and chain, or you can join your rounds, which often creates a seam on one side. I'm going to do the slip stitch and join because I like the way that it looks better than the continuous rounds. But if you were doing a continuous round and you were here on rounds 1 through the rest of the banana, instead of doing a slip stitch chain 1 here, you would just keep stitching on into round 2. Making sure to use that stitch marker if you're doing continuous rounds so you don't get lost. So if you're going to do the slip stitch and chain 1 like me, we're going to go into the first stitch of the round 1. So we're going to do our slip stitch and chain 1. Going to put my hook through the first stitch of round 1, grab my working yarn, pull through and pull all the way through. That's my slip stitch and chain 1. So now I'm ready for round 2. So for round 2, you're going to be doing 2 single crochets in each stitch, so which is an increase round. So here we are at our chain 1. Into our first stitch of the last round, we're going to put 2 single crochets. So put your hook in, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Put your hook in the same stitch, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's 2 single crochets in 1 stitch, which is an increase. You're going to continue to do 1 increase in each stitch all the way around. At the end of round 2, we'll have 12 stitches. So here I did 4. If you have a stitch marker, I'm going to suggest that you use it so we don't lose track. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Put it into the first stitch of the round, and then continue on doing 2 single crochets in each stitch. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11 and 12. Just like that. And that's round 2. So if you're just doing continuous rounds, then keep stitching for round 3. If you're doing a slip stitch and chain 1, we're going to do it together. So we're going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. So put your hook into the first stitch of round 2, grab your yarn, pull through, pull all the way through. That's your slip stitch. Chain 1. There you go. You can see a seam starting to form right here in the middle. This is how the slip stitch chain 1 is going to look. If you don't like this look, then I would do the continuous rounds. So for round 3, it's just 1 single crochet in each round. So into that first stitch of the round, you do 1. Into that next stitch, you're just doing 1. So put your hook through, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Remember, don't pull too tight, don't leave it too loose, try to keep your tension the same. Place your stitch marker. I'll meet you back for the slip stitch and chain 1. So this is my round 3. This is what my 12 single crochets look like. As it's starting to flip inside out, you can go ahead and flip it right side out to make it easier to work on. So for round 3, you should have a total of 12 stitches. We're going to do our slip stitch and chain 1. So into the first stitch, put your hook through, grab your yarn, pull through, pull all the way through, and chain 1, just like that. So we're going to start it on round 4. Round 4 is going to be a combination. It's going to be a single crochet in one stitch and then an increase in the next stitch. So we start off in the first stitch, do a single crochet. So 1. Into the next stitch, we're doing 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. That's a total of 3 stitches worked, and the sequence will be a single crochet with 2 single crochets as an increase, alternating all the way around until you reach the end. You'll do that alternation 6 times before you get to the end. Put your stitch marker here at the beginning. You should end on an increase. So again, single crochet, increase, 1, 2. Keep doing that. At the end of round 4, you'll have 18 stitches. We did round 4. You can see here the banana is going to get a little bit wider. I'm going to take out my stitch marker. I have my 18 stitches, and I'm going to do a slip stitch into the first stitch of the round, grab my yarn, pull through, pull all the way through, chain 1. That's round 4. You can see the seam a little bit more now. So we're going to do rounds 5 and 6 are the same. It's going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. So you go into the first stitch, put your hook through, yarn over, pull through 2. That's your single crochet. Do this all the way around for rounds 5 and 6. You will still have 18 stitches, and don't forget to use your stitch marker along the way. I'll meet you guys back at the end of round 6. Make sure you do the slip stitch and chain 1 in between round 5 and 6. I'll meet you back for the slip stitch on round 6. So I finished my round 5 and my round 6. I'm here at the slip stitch and chain 1 for round 6. So I'm going to put my hook through, grab my yarn, pull through all the way through, and chain 1. Now I'm ready for round 7. I still have 18 stitches all the way around. As this tail is starting to hang out in the way, we're just going to tuck it inside the banana. You can cut it off if you want, just not too close to the end so it doesn't come undone. Round 7 is going to be a single crochet in 5 stitches and then an increase. So into the first stitch of the round, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 single crochets. We have our 5 single crochets. Put your stitch marker here at the beginning, and into the next stitch we're going to do an increase. So 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So 1 and 2. So it's a total of 7 stitches in that sequence, and you're going to repeat that sequence again, 5 single crochets and then an increase. You're repeating that sequence 3 times. You'll have 21 stitches at the end, and I'll meet you back for the slip stitch and chain 1. So I finished round 7. I have 21 stitches. We're going to do our slip stitch and chain 1. So into the first stitch, put your hook through, grab your yarn, pull through, pull all the way through, and chain 1. Ready for rounds 8 through 11 are going to be the same. They're just going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. This is going to make the height of the banana. And remember that this is the banana's head, so it's going to be making his face. In between rounds 12 and 13, they want us to put a place markers for the eye. I'll make a stop and I'll show you when I do the eyes in the next clip. But for now, you're just going to do rounds 8 through 11 on your own, 1 single crochet, slip stitch, and chain 1 in between each round. Remember to use your stitch marker so you don't lose track. You should only have 21 stitches in each round. It should be the same, it should just be getting longer. So I finished this is my round 8, 9, 10, and 11. We're going to do our slip stitch and chain 1 for round 11. So slip stitch, pull all the way through. Okay, slip stitch, pull all the way through, chain 1. So it says that it wants you to place the eye marker as follows on rounds 12 and 13. So what they mean by that is with the non-existent stitch marker they didn't give you in this kit, hopefully you have your own. If not, you can use a piece of one of the threads because they gave you a lot of pink, and this pink is only for the cheeks on the banana anyways. So they're going to have you do a number of stitches, mark a stitch, and then continue doing stitches so that the eye is placed in a specific point. You can do this with me, or you can crochet it the way you feel, and at the end of your crochet before you start stuffing the banana, you can place the eyes. When they actually end up placing the eyes and punching it through on rounds 18 and 19 between rounds 6 and 7. But I'm going to show you how they're doing it for rounds 12 and 13. So for round 12, we're going to start off with 8 single crochets and then place a marker. So in the first stitch, do a single crochet. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's our 8 stitches. And then it wants us to place a place marker and then single crochet in the next 13. So I'm going to go ahead and do the next one. So 1, 2. I'm going to have, I got this off of Amazon a while ago. It comes with these thin metal stitch markers like this, and they're thin metal, they're very pointy, but they're small and they don't stick out too much. Comes with a variety of colors. You can find that on Amazon as crochet stitch markers or metal crochet stitch markers. So we did 2 stitches after the 8th one, but we're going to count just to be sure. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Into this 9th one is where I'm going to put my stitch marker. I'm going to leave that there and then continue stitching. They want you to do 13 single crochets, and that's going to bring you to the end. So 1, or we had 2, so 3, 4, 5, 6, so that's our 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So that's round 12. At the end of round 12, you're going to do a slip stitch and chain 1. So that's my round 12. That's where my stitch marker is on the front. So now we're going to do for round 13, you're going to single crochet 13 stitches and then plate your place marker. Alright, so we're doing round 13. Round 13, we're going to start off with 13 single crochets. So into the first stitch, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. And then we're going to put our stitch marker down. Okay, this is the one thing I don't like about loops and thread yarn, is that it splits so easily. Honestly, can be a nightmare when you're trying to crochet and it just catches. Alright, so this one right here was 9, that's 10, 11, 12, 13. So once we did our 13 into the next stitch, we're going to do a stitch marker. So I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more stitches, so 1 and 2. And then I'm going to put my stitch marker there. So we'll put it here and secure it. And then we're going to do a total of 8 stitches to finish off the round, so I need only 6 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Doing our slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. You see how it just kind of peels it. That's the one thing about acrylic yarn. I never have cotton yarn do that to me. So slip stitch, chain 1, like we have been doing. So here we have 2 stitch markers where this is going to be the front of the banana and this is where their eyes are going to go. This is just having it marked here so that we know in the future. So we're going to continue on and we're going to do round 14. Okay, so for round 14, it's going to be a combination of stitches. Currently for rounds 12 and 13, you should still have 21 stitches. It should still be the same size here. So for round 14, you're going to do a start off with a single crochet. So in the first stitch, single crochet, single crochet again, and then a decrease, 2 stitches together. So into the next stitch, put your hook through, pull through, into the next stitch, pull through all 3, yarn over, pull through all 3. Just the same way that we showed you at the beginning of the video. So I'll show you the decrease one more time, since it's the first time we're doing it. So for that decrease, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through all 3, yarn over, pull through all 3, and that's your decrease. That's 2 stitches together. After you do your decrease, you're going to again do a single crochet and a decrease. So a single crochet and a decrease again. So into the next stitch, pull through, into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now that we've done that 2 times, you're going to single crochet in 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like that. And then we're going to do another sequence, which is an increase, a single crochet sequence. So into the next stitch, we're doing an increase of 2 single crochets. So 1, and 2. That's your increase. And then you're doing 1 single crochet in the next stitch. So into that stitch marker stitch, doing a single crochet, and they want you to repeat that a total of 4 times. So the next thing that we're going to do with this stitch marker definitely in my way is an increase. So 1, 2, single crochet, 1. So that's done it twice. We're going to do it 2 more times. So 1, 2, single crochet, and then again 1, 2, single crochet. This leaves 1 stitch left, which is a single crochet again, and at the end of that, slip stitch into the first stitch of the round, pull through, pull all the way through, and chain. So this is going to create the curve of the banana. That's why they had you do the decrease on this side and increases on this side, because they're making that curved banana shape. So for round 14, how they said, here we have how they want you to work it. So you do your chain 1, you're ready for round 14. So this is how they want you to work round 14. First one that you're going to do into the first stitch is single crochet. That's by itself. Then into the second stitch, you're going to do a single crochet. Into the third stitch, you're doing a decrease. You're going to repeat this sequence 1 more time, doing it twice. Once you've done 2 sets of decreases, you're going to move on and do 1 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Once you've done that, your sequence starts in the next one. In that next stitch is going to be an increase and then a single crochet, and you're repeating that 4 times. Once you have that increase, like this here, where my increase is starting to curve out here, this increase area is what's making the curve of the banana. So ensuring that you work 4 increase and single crochet sets before doing your last stitch, before your slip stitch, your last one is a single crochet. So here we have single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease, and then a single crochet in 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then you're doing an increase, single crochet, increase, single crochet. You're doing that 4 times. That will bring you all the way around here to the last stitch. That last stitch is just a single crochet. So you're going to work it like this, so it's a single crochet. These brackets mean that it needs to be worked together 2 times. And then single crochet, bracket, work this set 4 times. Single crochet and join. You should have 23 stitches at the end of round 14. My 5 single crochets ended in between the green and purple marker for me, and my increases were all along this side over here. So let's go ahead and move on to round 15. So getting started with round 15, and around 15 and 16 it's just one single crochet in each stitch. At the end of round 15 and 16 you'll have 23 stitches. So go ahead and do round 15 and 16 on your own. Make sure to do your slip stitch and chain 1 in between, and I'll meet you back for round 17. So I finished my round 16 doing my slip stitch and chain 1, and we're ready for round 17. And for round 17 it's going to be one of those sequences again like round 14. So let me show you this real quick. So for round 17, single crochet in the first stitch, that's done by itself. A single crochet and a decrease is done as a set 2 times. Then single crochet in 6 by itself, and then in a set do an increase, a single crochet in 2 stitches, and repeat that 3 times. And then the last stitch of the round you're going to do a single crochet, and then you'll do your slip stitch and join, and you'll have 24 stitches. I'll show you how to do it here, but this is very similar to what we did in the explanation for round 14. So to start off with round 17, you start with a single crochet. So in the first stitch, single crochet, and then you're going to start the first sequence, which is a single crochet and a decrease. So in the next stitch is a single crochet. In the next stitch we're going to start our decrease, so put your hook through, pull through. In the next stitch, hook through, pull through, yarn over, all 3. That's a single crochet and a decrease. We're going to do another single crochet and decrease again. So single crochet and then decrease into 1 stitch, pull through, next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through, all 3. That's a single crochet with 1 decrease and 2 decrease. So once you've done that set, you're going to do 6 single crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then we're going to start on the next sequence. The next sequence is an increase and then a single crochet in 2 stitches. So in the next stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets to make an increase. So we have our increase and then 1 single crochet and 2 single crochets. That set is a total of 4 stitches. We're going to repeat that 2 more times. So increase, so 1, 2, that's your increase, and then 1, 2, and that's your sequence. And we're going to do it one more time. So increase, 1, 2, and then just 1 and 2. And that gets us here to the back with 1 stitch left. Do 1 single crochet to finish off the round. Now we're here for our slip stitch and chain 1. You have a total of 24 stitches at the end of round 17, just like this, continuing to create that curve in the banana. Round 18 and 19 are going to be easy. It's just 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Make sure to do your slip stitch and chain 1. After we finish round 19, we're going to be putting in the eyes and adding some stuffing. Alright, so I did my rounds 18 and 19, still have 24 stitches. The curve is becoming more prominent in our banana, like this. So where these stitch markers are, is where they want our eyes to be. So it's going to be in between this round here. So you can put it down here, or you can put it down here. So you're either going to choose this stitch here or this stitch down here. So I'm going to go with the upper stitch. And we're going to, it's going to have 4 stitches in between the eyes. So I'm going to move the stitch marker out of the way, and I'm going to place this eye right here and push it down just like that. This one's not really in my way, so I'm going to keep that one so I don't place it in the wrong place. So it's got 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches in between, and then the eye is going to go right there like this. Let's get this out of his way. And there we go. The eye's in your banana. You're going to rotate your work. You can flip it inside out, or you can slip it through, whichever is easy for you. I'm going to flip it inside out because sometimes these plastic eyes are really hard to get on. So I'm going to push it down to secure. That one's all the way in there. And then this one, I'll do the same. And it looks like this. And there you go. His little eyes are in. So now we're going to go ahead and add some stuffing. I'm probably going to add the stuffing to, I don't know, about midway here, so that it's not too far down, so that it doesn't get caught on our hook. You'll stuff it and fill it, shape it if you want to shape it a little bit. And you're just going to shove the stuffing up there. We're going to add more stuffing. It says to add more stuffing every 6 to 7 rounds as you go, or you can just add more stuffing as you go along. So what I'm going to do different than what they're going to do is that I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch on the face details before we continue, so that when I'm stitching, I'm not pulling out the stuffing in between. So I'm going to grab my pink and brown so that we can stitch on the cheeks and the smile, or whichever kind of face you want to give them. Okay, so I have about a 12-inch piece of pink and a 12-inch piece of brown with the tapestry needle that they included. We're going to start off with the pink, and the pink is just going to be right underneath the eyes. So pull your thread onto the hook. I do it like this, and then I hold it here. When you're coming up through, you want to come through the bottom. So it's going to be this round here, right beneath the eyes. So we're going to come up, leave a little bit of a tail like this, go down through the next stitch, and then pull it through. If you want to make it more prominent, you can overlap it one more time. I'm going to leave mine like this. I'm going to come up here over to the other side where I want this one to start. I'm going to come up, pull it through. Don't pull it too tight or I'll pull it out. And then we're going to go back down to the next stitch. And just like that. And they has little cheeks. And if you go over them again, they'll stick out more. I'm going to leave mine like this. I'm going to just leave this here, and I'm just going to tuck it inside. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the mouth. So the bottom of his smile is in line with the cheeks. So I'm going to start with the bottom of his smile. Like this. And then we're going to come up on a diagonal to make the smile come out diagonally. And then come back down through that same stitch. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Come up diagonally, pull up, and go back down through this same stitch. Like this, and it creates a smile. So his smile is 1 stitch wide, 1 stitch diagonally, 1 stitch diagonally. Like that. So I'm going to leave this brown and I'm just going to tuck it in. Now that we're done with that, we're going to continue on with the rest of the banana, and we're going to do round 20. So round 20 is going to be another fun sequence. So let's get all this ready. Tighten this back down. And so starting off with round 20, the first thing we're going to do is a single crochet. The next thing we're going to do is a single crochet and a decrease. So single crochet in the next stitch, decrease in the next stitch. Alright, so single crochet, decrease. So 1 stitch, 1 stitch, pull through all 3. I've got to do this twice, so single crochet, decrease, 1 stitch, 1 stitch, pull through. So the first part of round 20 is a single crochet, and then a single crochet with a decrease, a single crochet with a decrease. The next part of this sequence is going to be 1 single crochet and 8 stitches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we have our 8 single crochets. Then we're going to do an increase and single crochet twice. So increase, so 1, 2 in the same stitch, and then single crochet. That's 1. Another increase, 1, 2, single crochet, and that's 2. And the next sequence is going to be 1 single crochet and 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That brings you all the way around. Round 20, you still have 24 stitches. You're going to do your slip stitch and chain 1, and that's your round 20. This is what our banana looks like so far. So rounds 21 through 22 is a single crochet round, so just do your single crochets between for round 21 and 22. Do your slip stitch and chain 1. I'll meet you back at the ready for round 23. Rounds 21 and 22 will still have 24 stitches. Okay, so I did my rounds 21 and 22 with my slip stitch. Here's my little banana starting to take shape. Rounds 23 is another one of those sequences. I think this is about, no, there's still a few more as we go on. Okay, so here's another one of these sequences. First thing we're starting off with 23 is a single crochet. Once you have your single crochet, the first sequence we're doing is a single crochet and a decrease 2 times. So single crochet and then a decrease. So 1 stitch, next stitch, decrease, and then again single crochet and decrease. That's that first sequence done twice. The next part is going to be 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just kidding, only 7. Into the next stitch is going to be an increase and then 2 single crochets. So an increase, so 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets. 1, 2. We're going to repeat that same sequence with an increase in 2 single crochets and one more time. So increase, 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets. 1, 2. Once you finish that sequence, you're going to do 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's your round 23. You're going to do your slip stitch all the way through, chain 1, just like that. So we're going to do rounds 24 and 25 off camera. It's 1 single crochet in each stitch. At the end of round 24 and 25, you'll still have 24 stitches. So we finished rounds 23, 24, and 25. Our banana so far. You can go ahead and add some more stuffing if you want. I'm going to wait a little bit longer. So I'm going to get started with round 26. Round 26 isn't too bad. It has a couple sequences in it. So the first thing we start off with round 26 is a decrease. So into that first stitch, put your hook through, grab your yarn. Into the next stitch, put your hook through, grab your yarn. First thing we're doing is a decrease. And we're going to decrease 3 times. So that's 1. So into the next stitch, put your hook through, pull through, do another decrease. That's 2. And 1 more. Put through, pull through. And that's 3 decreases. Then you're going to do 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we have our 5 single crochets. We're going to do another sequence. It's an increase in single crochet. They're making this banana curve really hard that way. So an increase, so 1, 2, and then just want to be sure, a single crochet. And then an increase, 1, 2, single crochet. That's 2. We're doing this a total of 4 times. So increase, and then 1, 2, increase, one, 2. So we have our 5 single crochets. So we have decrease, 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 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're starting the sequence of the increases. So we're going to do an increase. So 1, 2, and then a single crochet. We're going to do this 4 times, so 3 more. So 1, 2, increase, single crochet. That's 2, increase, single crochet. That's 3, increase, single crochet. That's 4. Now that we have all 4, we're going to do 3 single crochets and a decrease. So 1, 2, 3. You should have 2 stitches left, and you're going to do a decrease. Pull through all the way through, and then you're going to do a slip stitch into the first stitch of that round and chain 1, and that's your round 26. Rounds 27 and 28 are just going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Make sure you're doing your slip stitch and chain 1. Rounds 27, 28 also have 24 stitches. So we finished with rounds 27 and 28. Here's my banana so far, and we're going to do round 29. So we did our slip stitch and chain 1 already, and then you're going to start round 29 with 3 decreases. So you're going to go into the next stitch, put your hook through, grab your yarn, into the next stitch, hook, grab your yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 1 decrease. Into the next stitch, pull through, next stitch, pull through, that's 2. Next stitch, pull through, next stitch, pull through. That's 3 decreases. And then we're going to do 1 single crochet in the next 6 stitches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then we're going to do a sequence. It's going to be an increase and then 2 single crochets, and do that twice. So our sequence is an increase. So 1, 2 in the same stitch, and then 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. So then again, repeat that sequence again, an increase, 1, 2, and then 2 single crochets, 1, 2. And that's our sequence. And then we're going to do 4 single crochets and then a decrease. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do a decrease with the last 2 stitches that are left. So 1, 2, yarn over, decrease. And then do your slip stitch and chain 1. And that's the end of round 29. So we did round 29. Rounds 30 and 31 are just going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. And at the ends of round 30 and 31, you'll have 22 stitches. Make sure you do your slip stitch and chain 1 in between. I'll meet you back for round 32. So I finished rounds 30 and 31. I have 22 stitches. We're going to go ahead and get started with round 32. So we're going to start off with a decrease, some single crochets. We're going to do another sequence again like last round. And then we're going to go do some more single crochets. So we're going to work this one together. So we're going to start off with 2 decreases. So into the stitch, pull through, next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 1 decrease. Into the next stitch, pull through, next stitch, pull through, yarn over all 3. There's our 2 decreases. And then we're going to do 7 single crochets. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. After our 7 single crochets, we're going to do a sequence where we're going to do an increase and then 2 single crochets like we did last round. So we start off with an increase in the next stitch and then 2 single crochets. So 1, 2, working 4 total stitches. And then we're going to do the sequence again. So an increase and 2 single crochets. Two. After that, we're going to be doing 3 single crochets and a decrease. So we got 1, 2, 3. And in the last 2 stitches of the round, we're going to do a decrease. So into 1 stitch, yarn over, pull through, next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over all, and pull through all 3. And that's your decrease. And then we're going to do our slip stitch and chain 1. So slip stitch, chain 1. My stuffing is here. If you want to go ahead and add some more stuffing, you can. And the next one that you're going to be working on your own is round 33 and 34, which is just 2 rounds of single crochet. So I'll meet you back for round 35. So I did rounds 33, 34. Still, we have 21 stitches. We're going to go ahead and do round 35. I did my slip stitch and chain 1 already. And round 35 is going to be 5 single crochets and then a decrease. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're just doing a decrease. So into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. You're going to keep repeating that 2 more times, 5 single crochets and then a decrease. Do your slip stitch and chain 1 at the end. At the end of round 35, you'll have 18 stitches. Alright, so this is our round 35. As you're going, getting closer to the end, as we keep closing this up, make sure you add more stuffing. We're going to go ahead and do round 36. Round 36 is going to be a single crochet and then a decrease. So we've got a single crochet and then a decrease. A single crochet and then a decrease. You're going to keep doing that all the way around. You're going to repeat that a total of 6 times. At the end of round 36, you're going to have 12 stitches. Go ahead and add the rest of your stuffing because in round 37, we're going to close up the end of the banana. So for round 37, here I've added the rest of my stuffing because this round we're going to be closing this up and we're not going to really have space to add any more. So make sure your banana is stuffed and shaped the way that you would like it to be. And for round 37, we're just doing decreases. So we're going to go into that next stitch, pull through, into the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. The same decreases that we've been doing this last few rounds. And pull through all 3. Keep doing that all the way around. You're going to do a total of 6 decreases. You should have a little bit of a gap of 6 stitches left, and then we're going to come back and we're going to sew it up. So I did my last decrease, and we're going to finish off the round. We're going to do our slip stitch and chain 1. So going into that first decrease of this round, and pulling it all the way through, doing a chain 1 to secure, and we're going to pull it up. They want you to leave about 6 inches of a tail to sew it up. So something like this, and we're going to go ahead and cut it. Okay, so we have our tail here. Grab your tapestry needle. If you wanted an alternate way of finishing this here to close this circle up more, you can do one more round of decrease, or we can just stitch it together. So we're going to go across here, and I'm going in the hole where the stitches were. So we're going in the hole under that round of stitches that we just did, pulling it through this way, and then I'm going to come over on the side here and do the same thing, going across, pulling it like this. And you're going to keep doing this until the bottom of it's closed the way you want. Once you feel that it's secure, I'm going to take this, shove it through the bottom of him, up through his body, pulling it up like this, and then we're going to snip it off. I'm going to tuck this in so it's not sticking out. Like that. And here we have made our banana. And then this is our seam here. So let's go ahead and get started on making the peel. So we're going to get started on the peel. I'm going to add a better clip picture of this in the video here soon, but we're going to get started with this. We have our yellow and our hook. Make sure you have a stitch marker on the side, and we're going to get started with round 1. We're going to also need our brown as well, because when we're working the banana, we're going to be starting from the bottom of the banana. So here in this little diagram, the way that we're going to work this is we're starting our peel from the bottom, working the way up so that we can attach each individual peel flap. So we have our brown, which is the CD on the diagram here. Getting started with round 1 of the peel, and this is starting at the bottom of the peel, which has the brown part for the banana. So we're going to make a magic green with our brown yarn. So holding the thread in my left hand, we're going to wrap it over the top of my fingers, under the bottom, back across the top. When you cross the top, make sure you make an X. Go under your first strand, over the second, pull your strand down, twisting it clockwise and upwards towards you, making this loop. Come back down, grab your working yarn, pull your working yarn down and through, securing your magic loop. Now we're going to put 6 single crochets inside the loop. And if you guys are having troubles with the magic ring, I explained it slower when we were doing the banana, and I also have a YouTube short on my channel of how to make a magic ring that it explains it in more detail. So it's 5 and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pulling it down tight. If you want to do the same thing where you did with the banana, you choose between working continuous rounds or joining. I'm going to still be doing the joining. I prefer that method. I like the way it looks. But if you're working continuous rounds, you would just go ahead and start for round 2. I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch and chain 1 to join my round together. And that's my round 1. You have 6 single crochets. And for round 2, you're going to do 2 single crochets in each stitch, and then at the end we're going to switch over to the yellow yarn to start our banana peel. So into this first stitch we're going to do 2 single crochets and continue with 2 single crochets in each stitch. So that's 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that's our 12. This one here is my chain 1 space. So we're going to go over here, put this through like we're going to do our slip stitch, and instead of doing it with the brown, we're going to do it with the yellow. Might get lucky enough to kind of have a center pull with this one. So we have our yellow ready to go. So I'm going to leave mine like this. You can make a slip knot if you want to. I'm just going to hold mine in place. So I'm going to hold my yellow with my finger and thumb against the back of the work. Pull my yellow through. Pull it all the way through to finish off that slip stitch. Tighten down your brown. And then do your chain 1 with your yellow. And here we have switched over from the brown to the yellow. And then we're going to get started with the next round 3. So we've finished with the brown, so we're going to go ahead and trim that off. Like that. Keep this just in case, but we'll trim it off for now. So this yellow piece here can be worked into the top line of the work. Same with the brown. So I'm going to lay the yellow along the top edge right here on the back. So for round 3, we have our chain 1, and the next thing we're going to do is a single crochet and then an increase. So in the next stitch, we're doing the single crochet. And then the next stitch, we're doing an increase. So 2 single crochets in 1 stitch. So 1, 2. So it's a total of 3 stitches. You're going to keep repeating 1 single crochet, 1 increase. A total of 6 times. At the end of round 3, you're going to do your slip stitch and chain 1, and you'll have 18 stitches. So 1 single crochet and then an increase all the way around. So I have my 18 single crochets. We're going to do our slip stitch into the first single crochet of that round and our chain 1. Like this. Kind of looks like a sunflower without leaves. Round 4 is going to be a single crochet, increase, single crochet. So to start off with a single crochet and then an increase, 1, 2, and then a single crochet. And that's going to be your sequence. You're working a total of 4 stitches. You're going to repeat that sequence again, single crochet, increase, single crochet. You're going to do that a total of 6 times. You're going to do your slip stitch and chain 1. At the end of round 4, you'll have 24 stitches. This is our round 4. I have a total of 24 stitches. I'm going to do our slip stitch, chain 1. So for round 5, you're going to do 7 single crochets and then an increase, and repeat that 3 times. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then an increase. 1, 2. You repeat that a total of 3 times. 7 single crochets, increase, 7 single crochets, increase, slip stitch, chain 1, and I'll meet you guys back at the end of round 5. You're going to have 27 stitches. So we finished round 5. So we have rounds 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I did my slip stitch and chain 1. Round 5 I have 27 stitches. You want to make sure that you have your 27 stitches because rounds 6 through 17, that's making the height of the banana peel, is going to be just 1 single crochet. So if you have the wrong amount of stitches now, it's going to be wrong then. So double check your stitches, get a stitch marker nearby, and you're going to do for rounds 6 through 7. Round 6 through 17 is just going to be single crochet in each stitch around. You do your join where you slip stitch and chain 1 in between each round. Use your stitch marker in between so you don't lose track. I'll meet you guys back at the round 18 right before we get started. So we finished round 17. I still have 27 stitches. This is how tall mine is here compared to my banana. So we're going to go ahead and continue for round 18. So round 18 is going to be starting off with a single crochet, and 2 stitches of a single crochet increase sequence, single crochet in 5, single crochet decrease sequence, and a slip stitch and join. So we're going to go ahead and start off with that. So we're going to do a single crochet in the first 2 stitches. So 1, 2, and then we're going to do single crochet increase. So a single crochet and an increase. We're going to repeat that 3 more times. So single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase. That's 3 times, and 1 more. Single crochet, increase. So we started with 2 single crochets, and then we did 4 sets of a single crochet with an increase. Then we're going to do 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The next step is going to be a single crochet and then a decrease. So single crochet and then a decrease. And then we're going to repeat that 4 times. So single crochet, decrease. This is just adjusting the shape of the banana the same way that we adjusted the shape, or this is adjusting the shape of the peel the same way that we adjusted the shape of the banana. So we have 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. So 1 more. Single crochet, decrease. And then it's going to do a slip stitch and join, and do your chain 1, and at the end of round 18 you'll have 27 stitches. So for rounds 19 and 20 you're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. You'll still have 27 stitches. I'll meet you back for round 21. Finish rounds 19 and 20. If you hear a lovely cat purring, that's Sebastian sitting on my lap, very close to my microphone. So we're going to do round 21, which first we're going to start off with 10 single crochets. So our 10 single crochets, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 10. Then we're going to do a sequence of an increase with a single crochet and 2 stitches. We're going to do that twice. So the first increase and then 2 single crochets. So 1 and 2. And repeat that again. So increase and then 2 single crochets. And then we're going to do a single crochet in 5 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to do another sequence, which is going to be a single crochet and a decrease 2 times. And these sequences that we're doing are just adjusting the shape of the banana peel. And we're going to do one more decrease. So single crochet and then a decrease. And then we'll slip stitch and chain 1. And that's our round 21. We still have 27 stitches, but you can see that it's starting to come to the side the same way that the banana did. So rounds 22 to 23 is just going to be a single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So we'll do that on your own off camera. You'll still have 27 stitches. You're not going to fasten it off. You're going to continue working the rows, and we're going to work for the peel flaps. So I'll meet you back at the end of round 23, and don't fasten off your yarn, keep it attached. Okay, so we finished our rounds 22 and 23, which was 1 single crochet. Here's the side that has the seam on it. You can start seeing it going this way, and then the side without the seam. So we're going to start, we're not fastening anything off, we're going to continue with the yellow because now we're going to make the flaps. So for peel flap 1, starts with row 1. We have our chain 1 here already. We're going to do an increase and then 7 single crochets. So we're doing an increase. So we got 1, 2, and then 7 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So now that we have our stitches from here to here, we're going to turn our work. So we're going to rotate our work this way. But before we do that, we're doing our chain 1, and then we're going to turn. So now we're doing rows 2 through 8. This is going to make the flap. So we did our chain 1, and now we're going to do 8 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So here we have the second row of that peel. So now what you're going to do, I'm going to do my chain 1 and turn. And you're going to keep doing this until you have 8 rows, and you're doing 8 single crochets in each one. Once you have a total of 8 rows, Then we're going to move on to row 9. Remembering at the end of each corner of the row, chain 1 and turn your work so you can work back and forth. And then chain 1 and turn. Keep doing that. I'll meet you back right for round 9. So here we did rounds 2 through 8. It's about this long and it curls like this. So we're going to do row 9. We've already done our chain 1. We're going to turn our work. Now we're going to be doing half double crochets in the next 4 stitches. So to do a half double crochet, we're yarning over, putting our hook through the next stitch, pulling through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet. So we're doing that 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're doing 4 single crochets. So just regular single crochets, putting your hook through, and 4. And that's your row 9. So you have your 4 half double crochets with your 4 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. So for row 10, you are going to be doing an increase. We already did our chain 1 and turn. So we're doing an increase in the first stitch, and then a single crochet in 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're doing a decrease. So 1 and 1, all 3, and then a single crochet. So you still have 8 stitches because you did an increase and a decrease in the same one. This is what we have so far. Do a chain 1 and turn your work. 11, row 11 is going to be 4 half double crochets, 4 single crochets. So yarn over, put through, pull through all 3, yarn over, put through, pull through all 3, all 3, and all 3. It's our 1, 2, 3, 4, and then do 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to do our chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to do row 12. Row 12 is going to be an increase, 4 single crochets, decrease, single crochet. So increase, 4 single crochets, decrease, and then a single crochet. Chain 1, turn. Row 13 is going to be four half double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Chain 1 and turn. That's your row 13. Row 14 is increase, single crochet, decrease. So we're going to do an increase. 1 and 2. Single crochet in the next stitch. And then decrease 3 times. So 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1, turn. Half double crochet in 3 stitches. So yarn over, put through. 1, 2, 3. There's your 3 half double crochets and then 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Do a chain 1, turn. Row 16 is going to be 3 decreases. So decrease, decrease, and decrease. Just like that. Chain 1 and pull up to secure. So we cut that tail off, and then we're going to take this and you're going to use your tapestry needle and you're just going to weave it back through your work. And that's one of the peel flaps. So guys, meet you guys back when I'm ready for the next ones. So we finished our first peel. We'll weave in our ends and fix it up after we finish the other 2 peels. So peel flap 2 is this here. So we're going to see where we finished our stitch, which is going to be right here. You're going to skip 1 stitch and then you're going to place your new strand into the next stitch. So this is where the last one was, and then this is the stitch we're going to go into. So grabbing your yellow yarn, I'm going to make a slip knot. You don't have to make a slip knot, you can just attach it, or I'm going to make a slip knot. And then we're going to have to attach it here. So this is where the last one was, and this is where we're going to put it. So we slide the slip knot onto your hook, pull it through, chain 1 to secure, and then to start that off, so this is the first flap of the banana. We're going to be working around this way. So right here where the other one was attached, we're going to attach this one right here. So I'm going to take my yarn, make a slip knot, and for flap 2, this is the section of pattern for flap 2. So I put my hook through that next stitch next to the first flap. Tighten your yarn back down onto your hook, pull through, and chain 1 to secure. And starting off round 1 for the second peel, you're going to do 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So into this stitch here that we just did this slip stitch chain 1, we're going to do 2 single crochets. When you're doing your 2 single crochets, take your tail and lay it right over here on top of the stitches, and then that will work the tail into the project. So that's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochets in the same stitch as your chain 1. Once you do those 2 single crochets, you're going to do 7 more single crochets. So 1, 2, and keeping this piece of thread as far as you can so that we don't have to weave it in later. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So we have our 7 single crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have the 2 from the beginning and then 7, that makes your 9 single crochets. Once you have your 9 stitches, you're going to chain 1 and turn your work. And we're going to be working back this way. So you're going to do rounds 2 through 10 by yourself, which is the same as this one over here where we made this really long portion. And you're just doing 1 single crochet in each stitch for rounds 2 through 10. Make sure that at the end of the row you do your chain 1 and turn to work back and forth rows. I'll meet you back at the end of round 10. So for rounds 2 through 10, you're going to do 1 single crochet in each stitch, and with a chain 1 and turn at each end of the row. 1 single crochet in each stitch, and you'll have 8 stitches at the end. So I'll show you round 2. You're just going to go and put in 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you have your 8 single crochets. You do a chain 1 and you flip your work, and then you're going to do again 8 single crochets. So for rounds 3 through 10, continuing doing 1 single crochet in each stitch with a chain 1 and turn at the end, you'll maintain 8 stitches in each row. I'll meet you back for round 11. Alright, so I finished my row 10. Looks like this. Very similar to the other one. I already did my chain 1 and turn. And we're going to get ready with row 11. Row 11 is going to be the first one of decrease to make the curve shape for the banana peel. So we're going to start off with a decrease. So into the first stitch, put your hook through, grab your yarn, pull through. In the next stitch, put your hook through, grab your yarn, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's our decrease. And then you're going to do a single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then the last 2 stitches we're going to do a decrease again. So put your hook through, pull through, hook through, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3, chain 1 and turn. Row 12 is just going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch. You'll have 6 total stitches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. we do our chain 1 and turn. That's our row 11 and 12. So now we're going to do row 13, which is a decrease row. Just like row 11, we're starting off with a decrease. So put your hook in, pull through, next stitch, hook in, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and then you're going to do a single crochet in 2 stitches. 1, 2, and then we're going to finish off round 13 with a decrease. So into the next stitch, into the next stitch, pull all the way through, chain 1 and turn. So round 14 is going to be just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So a total of 4 stitches here. Chain 1, and let's do round 15, the last one. Round 15 is going to be a single crochet, a decrease, and a single crochet. So single crochet, decrease, so 1 stitch pull through, 1 stitch pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3, and the last stitch do a single crochet. You'll have 3 stitches at the end of round 15. You do your chain 1 and you pull up just a little bit. We don't need too much, just a little bit of a tail. You're gonna go ahead and cut that, and I'll meet you back to do flap 3. So here's our banana so far. He's got his 2 peels. Get this guy out of here. Gonna do again, we're gonna get our yarn, make our slip knot again, and we're gonna start for peel 3. So make your slip knot so we can attach your yarn. Peel flap 3 is gonna be basically the same. So I'm gonna come over here to my flap. It was last worked in this stitch here, and we're going to start off in the stitch next to it. So put the yarn on the hook, pull it through. That went kind of far. Chain 1 to secure. Okay, I'm going to try, I don't know what happened. So our slip knot, into the next available, secure that down, pull it through, and chain 1. Now that we have our chain 1, we're going to do the same thing again, and we're going to do 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So go back into the stitch that you have your slip stitch and do a single crochet and another single crochet. Now we have 2. Take your tail and you're laying it across the top of these stitches so that it can be worked in and when you don't have to weave it in. Into the next stitch, or in the next 7 stitches, doing 1 single crochet for a total of 9 stitches. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's as far as my tail is going, so we're going to leave it there. And then 6 and 7. Like this. You're going to do your chain 1 and turn. So we have a total of 9 stitches here. And again, for this one's a little different than the other ones. So for round 2, we're going to go ahead and start off with a decrease. So row 2 is a decrease in the first stitch, a single crochet in 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then a decrease again. Oh. So we did our 5, and then we're going to do an increase in this last stitch. So 1, 2. That creates 8 stitches. Do your chain 1 and turn. For row 3, you're doing 1 single crochet in each stitch. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's your row 3. Chain 1, turn. Rows 4 through 9, it wants you to repeat rows 2 and 3, alternating between 2. So rows 4, 6, and 8 are going to be row 2, and row 5, 7, and 9 are going to be for row 3. So starting off with row 4, we're going to do a decrease and then a single crochet in 5 stitches with an increase. So start your row 4 with a decrease, 5 single crochets, 3, 4, 5, increase into that last stitch. 1, 2. Do your chain 1 and turn. Row 5 is going to be a single crochet round. So just 1 single crochet in each stitch for round 5. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You're going to be maintaining these 8 stitches. So that's round 4 and 5, which is creating the banana peel to kind of shift over to the side. So we do our chain 1 and turn. So now we're going to do row 6 and 7, which is going to be a repeat of row 2 and 3. So decrease for row 6, 5 single crochets, 5, and then in the last stitch increase. 1, 2. Chain 1 and turn. 1 single crochet in each stitch for round 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is creating the slant for the banana peel to shift it off to the side so that you can see all 3 peels around the banana. Chain 1, turn. Now you got 2 more rows to do, rows 8 and 9. So I'm going to do row 8 with you, row 9. So row 8, again, 2 decreases, just like row 2. So a decrease and 5 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Increase in the last stitch. 1, 2. Chain 1, turn. Last one for row 9. Row 9 is going to be a repeat of row 3. Just 1 single crochet in each stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So that's rows 4 through 9. Should look like this. It's going to be going off to the side. Where our other ones here were going straight up, this one should be slanted. So you're going to do your chain 1 and turn your work. And we're going to get ready for round 10, or row 10. Row 10 is going to be a decrease, 5 single crochets, increase, turn. So decrease, 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increase, 1, 2, chain 1, and turn. That's row 10. Row 11 is going to be a single crochet in 4, half double crochet in the next 4. So single crochet in 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are our single crochets. In the last 4 stitches, we're doing a half double crochet. So a half double crochet, yarn over, put your hook in the next stitch, pull through. You have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's a half double crochet. Yarn over, put through, pull through, yarn over, all 3. Half double crochet. Yarn over, put through, pull through, all 3. Yarn over, put through, pull through, all 3. Those are your half double crochets. You're going to do your chain 1 and turn. You still are maintaining 8 stitches here. So for rounds 12 and 13, they want you to repeat row 10 and row 11. So for row 12, we're going to repeat row 10, which was a decrease, 5 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in the last stitch an increase, 1, 2. Looks like this. You can see here it's kind of puffing a little bit. It's because of the half double crochets. Chain 1, turn. Row 13 is going to be a repeat of row 11. So a single crochet in 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 half double crochets. Yarn over, put in, pull through, yarn over, all 3. Do it again. Yarn over, put through, pull through, yarn over, all 3. You do 4 half double crochets like this is what it should look like. It's slanting over to my right hand side. So we're going to do a chain 1 and turn. We're going to do row 14 next. Row 14 is a decrease 2 times. So a decrease is into the next stitch, pull through, next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 1 decrease. We're going to do it again. Into the next stitch, pull through, next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 2 decreases. Then we're going to do 1 single crochet and 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here we have 2 decreases. Here, so you can see the 2 decreases and then the 4 single crochets. Chain 1 and turn. So we're going to do row 15. We're starting off with a single crochet, a half double crochet in the next stitch. So yarn over, put through, pull through all 3. and then a half double crochet together 2 times. So yarn over, put in, pull through, next stitch, put in, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4. And that's a half double crochet decrease. So yarn over, put through, pull through, put through the next stitch, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 4. Just like that. At the end of that round, you have a total of 4 stitches. You do your chain 1, and let's do round 16, the last one. You're just doing 2 decreases. So put your hook through, hook through, pull through, yarn over, all 3, put your hook through, pull through, hook through, pull through, all 3. That's your decreases. You're going to do your chain 1 and turn. So we're not going to cut, we're just doing a chain 1 and turn, because now we're going to work the border of the banana peel all the way, all 3 banana peels, and we're going to be ending back over here. So working the banana peel with the right side facing us, we do a chain 1, and then we're doing a single crochet in each stitch across the last row of the peel flap, single crochet in each row in down the side of the flap, single crochet and skip stitch all the way around. So we have it facing this way. You can see that you have stitches along here. So you're going to go into each stitch here along the side like this. So you go into this one here, pull up, single crochet. Into the next one, single crochet. In the next one, and you're just putting 1 in each stitch down the side. So you can see a hole here, and you keep doing this all the way around. So let's go down the side of this peel flap that we just made. We're going to do one here as well. So into the one where it was attached down at the base, pull through, yarn over, single crochet, go into this next one here, single crochet, and now we're going to go back up the next peel. I missed one there. So, just like that. If you can't see which ones have stitches, if you pull up like this, you can see the gaps a little better, knowing where to put the stitch. So as we're here, we see that we have this tail here. As we worked it before, we're just going to lay it across the top and work it in. You can also weave it in later if you want to. So I'm laying it over the top of the stitches Here we made it to the top of the leaf, so we're going to put one in each spot on the top of the leaf peel. So there's 3 stitches up here at the top. And then we're going to work back down the side of the leaf, or peel. I don't know why I keep calling it a leaf. Into the next one here. And you're going to keep going down. And you're going to put one in each section. Hopefully this helps the peels curve a little bit more and not be so curly. Originally they were so curly that they weren't really sitting nicely against the banana. So go ahead and keep doing that, and so we're going to keep doing our single crochets around the border. I'm almost around the second leaf. So here where it was attached, we're going to do a single crochet there. And my tail is still laying on the inside here, just to continue weaving it in. So you have the one where it was attached, you have this one in the middle, and then you have this one here. Where it was attached. And then you're going to go up the next peel. So we're back at the top of the second, third peel. So we have one single crochet here. I made it to the next tail piece, and I'm just laying it across the top of these stitches so that it's worked in with my single crochets. And we're just continuing with the bunch of single crochets all the way around. And you just keep single crocheting. So I'll meet you guys back when we get to this section over here. You're going to continue doing your single crochets all the way across here and back up, and I'll meet you guys back at the end of this one up here. Alright, so I'm almost up back to the top where we started. I'll do a few more. And you're going to get back to, this is the last one here, and then this is the first single crochet that you started. So into that first one, put your hook through, slip stitch, chain 1, and we're going to go ahead and pull it up a little bit so we can weave it in. We don't need too much, just a little bit. It's not too bad. Almost finished my yellow yarn. So these bits here where I have tail pieces sticking out, I'm going to trim them off. The leaves are still pretty curly, but you know, I guess that's how a banana peel flops over. And you can kind of push them in like this. All right, so now the last thing we got to do is do the stem. So let's get that ready. So let's get rid of this tail real quick. So get your tapestry needle so we can get it out of the way and get situated with the stem. So place this onto your tapestry needle, take it, you're going to go in this one stitch here, you're just shoving it back through a stitch, and then in between this point here where we made those single crochets, to just tuck it into the work. So down the side of these single crochets, like this. Pull that through and pull it all the way down. Like this. If you're going to give it to a younger kid, I would do a few more loops around, but mine's just for display, so I'm going to cut mine off there. And then it's all put away. So now I want to determine where the front is. We do have this seam. If you did the chain one method, you would have this seam on the back. Okay, so for the stem, we're going to start off with a chain. So make your slip knot. Like this. Do a chain 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Take your chain 8 and join in the back bump of the first chain to form a ring. So put it back through the first chain, grab your yarn, and pull it all the way through. Now you see you have a ring. That's round 1. Round 2, do a chain. Start with your chain 1, and then a single crochet in each stitch. So, single crochet. As we're doing our single crochets, if you lay it across the top here, then we'll be able to weave in the tail as we go, and we don't have to stitch it in later. So into the chain, the same way that you joined it, you're going to be doing your single crochets. So put your hook into the chain, grab your yarn over, and do a single crochet. Into the last one here. This one here is my chain 1. I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. Yep, we're going to join them together. So go into the first stitch, pull through, chain 1. So you put one single crochet in each of the chain space all the way around, and it creates this ring shape. So for round tangled yarn, for round 3, there we go, it's going to be a single crochet, a decrease. So first we do a single crochet and then a decrease. So into one single crochet, the next one, it's a decrease, and then we're going to do a single crochet in 2 stitches. So 1, 2, then we're going to do, I'm going to flip mine right side out, make it a little easier to see those single crochets. So we did 2, and then we're going to do another decrease. So decrease, and then a single crochet. And then you're going to do a slip stitch and join. And it's kind of creating a ring shape almost. So now round 4 and 5, just to create some height, is going to be 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way around. So do your chain 1 and then 1 single crochet. Rounds 4 and 5, you do your chain 1, 1 single crochet in each stitch around. Alright, you have your stem. So at the stem, at the end of mine for the round 5, I flattened it and then I did 2 single crochets here at the top. So when you finish it, it still has a hole in it. You can use the tail to weave it together when you're stitching it onto the banana, but I'm gonna just chain 1, rotate it and flatten it together, so sandwich it together, go into 1 stitch and going in through the front and back piece, sandwiching it together, doing a single crochet. Come over here to the other side, sandwich it together, and another single crochet. Chain 1, and then cut. This just closes off the top. You don't have to do it this way if you don't want to. I would leave a longer tail for sewing it together, but I'm going to pull this one here down through the center. So we're going to get this stem put on. So I'm going to thread my needle with my tail, and then we're going to put the first one right here. I'm going to pull this through, go through the front side of the stem, and pull it up through. So that bit's secured there. I'm going to go back down through the banana, or through the stem, through the banana, pull it to the back. Now that you have it in the back, go into a stitch in the back to secure it down. And from the back, go into the next stitch, going through the peel, back to the front. So we're going to go into the stem to secure. I'm going to go back through the peel and up through the stem, and it secures your stem on. So here we finished our banana. It seems like this Loops and Threads kit came out pretty good. The pattern was good. I had enough material. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to. I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you have any questions, put them in the comments down below. Anything that you want to see next, you can also leave that in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys again soon.